what we got here. Am I dreaming, or are you the prettiest thing I've seen in these parts for quite some time? Yeah, keep your shirt on. I'll untie you when I feel like untying you. Caution before chaos, I like to say. Don't want to blunder in carelessly into something rash or regret tomorrow. No sense in untying you before I know what's going on. That's right, I did. Those men were stirring you up, but that don't mean they didn't have a good reason for wanting you hung. Never seen you before. You're not from around these parts, so why don't you tell me a little about yourself? How about starting with a name? Don't even want to give me a name. Well, that's not very hospitable of you. Makes me think there might be a little something you're trying to hide. Me? I'd be happy to oblige. Name's Veronica. That's right. Some people call me that as well. So, you've heard of me. Outlaw is only a name some folks use. I prefer vigilant, but if a cute guy like you wants to call me an outlaw, I'll allow it. As you can see, giving me a name shouldn't pose much of a problem now. After all, what kind of reputation could you have that would be worse than mine? Still not talking? No matter, I'll just call you Cutie then. I'm not a fan of those. Well, I suppose I could change it to deceased. You like that any better? Didn't think so. So unless you give me a better option, Cutie it is. Now on to other business. Why these two men want you swinging from a tree? Well, I'm aware of who those two men are. Or rather were. Randy and Jake Richardson. A couple of the oiniest brothers you'll ever meet. I did it before questioning them about why you're up here because I didn't figure I'd get an honest answer from them anyways. There are a couple of no-good lowlifes that have been after me for quite a while and would have tried to shoot me dead without thinking about it even after I'd the job on them. I think you'll agree, seeing as how they were about to send you to the next life, that ridding this whole world of the existence wasn't a wholly bad thing. Now I'm aware they were wearing badges. They ran with one today at Roadfield, a notoriously evil monster around these parts that came up with the bright idea to become the sheriff rather than a bandit leader. It was a clever move. No sense fighting the law when you can become the law. Now he runs his territory like it's his own personal plaything. His gang does the thieving in plain sight. Who's gonna stop him? Anyone who tries either ends up in a cell or trumped up charges, or they wind up in a shallow grave. Looks like they had the second option in mind for you. Mind telling me what made them decide on that course of action? Heading to Stony Ridge? What's there for you? You got family there. No, then why go to Stony Ridge? Now, Cutie, I don't think personal business cuts it at this point. You're currently sitting on your horse with a noose around your neck. If I wanted to, I wouldn't even have to shoot you. I'd just spook your horse and that would end your journey real quick. So, why don't you give me a little more information then? That's none of your concern. Yeah, I just said, I know that those two men were no good cutthroats. That don't mean you're not one either. Just because you're cute don't mean you're not a scoundrel. Sometimes the cutest ones are also the meanest. Help, huh? But what? How are you planning on helping the folk of Stony Ridge? What's in those saddlebags? Let me take a look. Cutie, I wouldn't go kicking at me anymore if I were you. You might just make your horse up and gallop away. So just calm down and let me see what you've got there. Bottles? Bottles filled with... What is this? What have you got here? Is this medicine? I mean, I heard that an illness had fallen upon the people in town. Are you bringing them something for that? I would today, I want you dead for that. Fine, don't say anything else. It looks like I've learned all I'm gonna learn for now. You're not the most forthcoming individual, which makes sense, seeing what you've been through today. You probably trust me as far as you can throw me, but that would mean you're one of them. Trying to get medicine to those ailing folks in Stony Ridge doesn't make you a desperado worthy of being hung. So let me untie the ropes from the tree. Oh, I never said anything about untying your hands, cutie, or taking the noose off your neck. I believe I said I'll tie you when I felt like it, and I don't feel like untying it. You're coming with me. Of course, I could untie you and set you free, but you see, that was never an option. I wasn't determining if you were someone who should be released. I was determining if you were someone worth keeping. I saved your life. If I hadn't come around, you'd already be dead. That makes you my property now. That's what I said. I saved your life, so it's mine. Whether you see it that way is irrelevant now, ain't it? Even if you don't like my logic, you're the one with his hands tied behind his back, and with your neck still secured by a noose, and I'm the one with the loaded gun. So, pray tell, how are you planning on stopping me if I decide to just claim you? Of course I can claim you. I believe I just explained why and how. Now, come on. We'll have plenty of time to discuss this new arrangement of ours on the way home. For now, let's get out of this blazing sun and away from prying eyes that might be interested in knowing what's happening to Randy and Jake, as well as knowing where you might have run off to. Oh, come on now. Eat. It's just one bite. Don't be stubborn. What do you think refusing the last bite will prove anyways? You had to have been hungry after what you've been through. Even before I brought you up here, we spent the entire day reaching the spot. Oh, just eat. There you go. Good boy. Why shouldn't I call you a good boy? After all, cutie, you're mine, and I can call you whatever I want. Well, if you're mine, only as long as I have you tied up, then there's no incentive for me to ever untie you now, is there? Oh, don't look at me like that. I'll probably end up untying you someday. But I need to carefully weigh my options first. Cautions before chaos. I have to do no such thing. You, in fact, are the one that has to do as I say. I rescued you, and now I own you. Why are you struggling so much with that concept? That's fairly straightforward. You should be dead. You're not dead. The entire reason why you're not dead is me. If I hadn't stepped in and saved you, you wouldn't even be here to have this argument with me. No, no. Shh. Shush down. I don't want to hear any more of your whining. They'll have to gag as well as tie you. Do you really want me to do that? That's what I thought. Answer me this, cutie. Are you alive? And are you appreciative of me saving your life? Then, at the very least, don't you feel you owe me something? You see, cutie, you're not disagreeing with my stance. You're just quibbling over the terms. Okay. Shh. Oh, no, stop. You've been over this time and time again. You're mine, and that's that. I'm done talking about this. Come here. No, just come here. We're going to get cozy for the night. That's right, it's going to get chilly tonight. So come here. You're going to cuddle up next to me for some warmth. No, it's not inappropriate. I do appreciate you trying to be a gentleman, but it really is going to get cold here tonight, especially once the fire dies. So just come here. There you go. I'll lay back on this rock. You lay your head on my chest here. That's a good boy. I'll put this blanket over both of us to retain heat. Why should I stop calling you a good boy? Why should I stop calling you a good boy when it gets that embarrassed reaction out of you? It makes you even cuter than you already are. And I didn't choose the name Cutie for nothing. Now, calm down and relax. I want to rub your head and run my fingers through your hair. Does that feel good? Good, I'm glad. Ready to tell me anything else about yourself? Now, I suppose that's fair. If I'm wanting more information out of you, then I should be willing to tell you a little more about me. What do you want to know? Really, of all things you could ask, you chose to ask why I used the expression caution before chaos. Oh my, you are an interesting fella. It was Jedidia. Jedidia is the reason why I say that. Jedidia is the man who made me who I am today. Through this, the whole world is turned upside down, or at least on my end. My dad used to run with Jedidia, but before that he was a ranch hand when he met my mama. They fell in love and had me. Dad taught me everything there is to know about horses. Mama taught me everything there is to know about shooting. On my honor, my mama was a crack shot that could take the wings off a net. Dad couldn't hit a black bear if it was 2 feet away, but he could practically speak with horses. He knew them inside out. He loved horses and they loved him. When I was 8, we felt hard times. Dad lost a job and someone rustled the herd he was helping move to Texas. Couldn't find any decent work, so he took the chance and decided to run Jedidia for a spell. Figured someone robbed him. It was only fair that he takes him back. Mama wasn't happy about it, but Dad told me it was that or starve, and he wasn't about to let it happen to us. I don't know everything that happened while he was in Jadaita's gang, but I do know that Dad came home one day with a lot of money in his possession. We bought a farmstead and was making go for it. It was hard work, but we had each other and we were happy. Then one day, Jadaita shows up with his gang. Only this time he's got a badge. Says he's there to arrest my dad for all the crimes he's committed while in his gang. I don't know whose ass Jadadia kissed to get that badge, but now he had it out for my dad for daring to leave his gang, and he had the force of the law behind him. Ain't that ironic? The man trying to arrest my dad was the man that got him to break the law in the first place. Jadadia promised to get a fair trial, but Mama knew that wasn't true. She knew my dad was going to be hung before they even get back to town or shot in the back. She shot 2 of Jadadia's men before they could reach their guns. Then, well, Jadadia shot it clean through the heart and then shot my dad next while he was crying over my mama, all while I was watching. I was 16 at the time. I wanted to, but I didn't have a weapon on me, and even though Mama had taken 2 of them down, there were still 5 left, and I chose caution before chaos. I would run off to regroup and strike the flames of my retribution. I jumped onto my horse and took off faster than a tornado in Oklahoma. I spent the last few years doing what I can to take Jadadia down, while he's put a price on my head and labeled me an outlaw for seeking justice for what he did. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I've been sorry for the rest of my life. You know, sometimes I think it would have been better if I chosen chaos or caution and just charged the nearest henchman and let them shoot me dead. But then I would have never been able to save a life, cutie. Why am I keeping you? Well, I've been out here on my own, wreaking havoc on Jadadia's operations while living isolated and alone for a few years now, and I wanted to hold someone. I wanted to feel the touch of another person. True, if I untied you, you'd be free to hold me back. But would you? That's why you're still tied. Your silence tells me a no, or at least that you're not sure. I didn't feel like taking the chance. I told you. I'd claimed you, and you're mine now. But don't worry, cutie. I'm not the vicious outlaw those stories claim. Most of them have been exaggerated by Jadadia to make me look like the monster that he is. I aim to put a bullet between his eyes as soon as you're close enough to do so. I don't aim to harm those who don't deserve it, and that includes you. They can hang me at that point, I won't care. I will have avenged my mama and dad. But enough of that. You don't have to tell me nothing else tonight. We're both tired, and I'll keep stroking your hair as long as I'm awake. No, I told you. You never have to worry about that with me. I ain't planning on hurting you. Or, well, I ain't planning on hurting you. Close your eyes, cutie. I'm happy with you here on my chest tonight. Tonight is caution. Tomorrow will be chaos.